Why have the most dangerous people in history not looked like bad guys? What do strong leaders, clever manipulators, and quiet planners have in common? The answer is a surprising and powerful idea. Real power doesn't yell. It speaks softly. It doesn't show off. It stays hidden. And it's this hidden nature that makes it unbeatable. Sun Tzu, a famous Chinese thinker from over 2,000 years ago, said the best way to win a war is to beat the enemy without fighting. But what does that mean in real life? It means the safest way to win is to hide your strength and act weak or unsure, while secretly getting ready for a big move. This idea, from his book The Art of War, is often misunderstood because it takes smart thinking and the ability to control your own pride. Today, everyone tries to look strong, smart, and confident. But those who act harmless become invisible and hard to stop. While foolish people show off, wise people collect information. While nervous people talk loudly, powerful people listen. Quietly, the battlefield could be an office, a family meal, or a personal argument. In all these places, those who seem weak can win before the fight even starts. This video dives into how acting weak can be a strong weapon, using ideas from science, Eastern wisdom, and how people behave. We'll see why being underestimated helps, because when someone thinks you're weak, they relax and show their fears, plans, and weaknesses. This isn't about giving up. It's about taking control by tricking others. By the end, you'll learn how to use this hidden power in your personal life, work, and emotions. The truth is simple and tough. People don't defend against attacks. They don't see coming. That's why the most dangerous people don't seem dangerous. Most people think power has to be obvious, that strength needs to be shown, forced, or feared. But this is a childish, basic idea, left over from our animal instincts. Sun Tzu knew something deeper. Power that shows itself too early gets stopped. True power works in secret, pretends to be weak, and uses its invisibility as a weapon. This idea of staying hidden from Sun Tzu isn't just for war. It's a way to live and succeed, even when things look tough. It starts with understanding that when people sense danger, they get defensive, their minds close, their bodies tense, and they pay close attention. But if someone seems harmless, those defenses drop. That's when the real danger begins. Picture a battle where your enemies don't know you're a fighter. While they show off, give orders, and fight for control, you move freely. You watch, listen, and gather information. Then, at the right time, you strike smartly, not with force, but with perfect timing and planning. This is real invincibility, not surviving an attack, but avoiding one because no one sees you as a threat. In today's world, this hidden strategy can work in many ways. At work, don't compete openly with show-offs. Let them mess up while you quietly build your success. In relationships, don't share your deepest feelings with people who don't deserve them. Watch and learn while staying calm. In deals, act flexible and unsure to make the other side feel in charge. When you finally show your plan, they've already revealed their limits and weaknesses. Sun Tzu said, "When you're close, make it look like you're far. When you're far, seem near." It's a game of tricks. In this game, the other person's pride is your tool. Their desire to win or be better can be used against them if you act defeated. The easiest win is when the enemy doesn't know they're in a fight. The best trap is one where they think they're in control. This takes self-control. You have to let go of the need to prove yourself right away or seek approval. It needs emotional strength to stay calm. But in return, you get a power no one can fight because they can't find it, a power that works inside the other person, messing with their mind and using their mistakes. But this plan will work without understanding how people think. You need to know why someone underestimates another, what makes people drop their guard when something seems weak, and why acting harmless lets you control everything without speaking loudly. In the next part, we'll explore these secret tricks. We'll show how being underestimated can be a weapon, because when others think you're no threat, they get vulnerable. That's when the real game begins. If this makes sense, click subscribe and join the channel. Thanks for your support. Our minds are easily fooled. From a young age, we link strength with being noticed, power with loud voices, and authority with being bossy. We don't often question this. That's why underestimation is a great tool for smart tricks. When someone thinks you're weak, unimportant, or limited, they relax and show who they really are. That's when the game changes. Underestimating is a mistake, but it's not random. It's made to happen with careful, patient thinking. When someone acts fragile, shy, or unsure, others assume they're safe and let their guard down. But the opposite is true. The weak person is learning, watching behaviors, and testing limits, all because the other person feels too sure of themselves. Underestimation shows people's weak spots. Those who think they're in charge stop protecting themselves. They talk too much, share too much, and reveal too much. This openness also shows their fears, doubts, and hidden plans. When the brain feels no danger, it gets lazy and lowers its defenses, making it easy to influence. This happens everywhere in life. At work, the quiet employee who listens more than talks is seen as weak, while loud people push ahead. But that quiet person builds smart knowledge. When the time is right, a job change, a promotion, a problem, they act perfectly and surprise everyone, not because they were weak, but because no one thought they were. In relationships, the same thing happens. Someone who seems too open, naive, or avoids fights can make the other feel superior. But that feeling of being better is actually a weakness. When we think we're smarter, we stop being careful. Pride creates blind trust, and that trust leads to failure. This is the perfect ground for clever mind games. The hidden manipulator doesn't fight. They guide. They plant ideas through seeming weak. They use silence as a plan, hesitation as a distraction, and small mistakes as traps. This works because people love feeling important, and nothing boosts that more than facing someone lesser. That's why many great leaders and diplomats used weakness as a cover, not out of fear, but on purpose. They knew control comes from leading, not forcing. The real manipulator pulls, suggests, and stays hidden until it's too late for the other side to react. But acting underestimated isn't easy. It takes control over yourself. You have to quiet your own pride, resist showing off, and turn every move into a way to read others. It means seeing every talk as a dance of impressions. Those who get this dance win the game. Now that we see the hidden strength of being underestimated and how it affects others, it's time to go further. How do we use this in daily life? How do we turn these ideas into real actions that give us an edge without being noticed? The answer is in quiet emotional tricks. That's what we'll cover next. Get ready to learn the subtlest and most powerful tools for the mind. Knowing underestimation is strong is just the start. True skill is using it smartly, every day, in a way no one notices. This takes a rare kind of mental sharpness, the art of looking weak while staying strong, acting passive while in charge, giving up small fights to win the big ones. Here, manipulation becomes a smart plan, and the weak person becomes the master of the situation. The first key trick is hiding your emotions. The modern world is full of emotional traps. When someone attacks, they want a reaction. When they embarrass you, they want to see anger. When they put you down, they want to find your weak side. Most people react as expected with anger, bitterness, or complaints. But the smart player does something different. They turn every attack into a chance. They stay quiet when others lose it. They smile when others expect them to fail. That smile confuses because it's not weakness, it's strength. Imagine your boss embarrasses you in front of others. You might want to fight back, defend yourself, or stay silent with resentment. But a trained mind sees more. That outburst showed the boss's insecurity. By calmly saying, "I get your point," you stop the attack and make them question themselves. By not reacting as they expect, you become a mystery. And nothing scares a control freak more than not knowing what you'll do. The second trick is using gentle words. Words are weapons, but the best ones aren't harsh, they're soft. Phrases like maybe, could be, I'm not sure if I'm right, or you might be right make you seem vulnerable. They make others relax, thinking you're weak or unsure. But there's a plan behind it. By not arguing, you let them open up. They talk more, explain more, and soon show their fears, doubts, and flaws. Softness here isn't giving up, it's a setup. Next is the low-key approach. In a world where everyone wants attention, the watchers become kings. Staying out of the spotlight, not from fear, but by choice, gives an edge few see. Looking from the side notices what the center misses. The quiet planner moves behind the scenes, hears talks not meant for them, watches fights they don't join, and saves every bit of info for later. When they act, everyone's shocked because no one expected it from someone who stayed unnoticed. Finally, the finest trick, fake weakness. This means showing small flaws on purpose, asking simple questions, making tiny mistakes, or acting confused about obvious things, all to make others feel superior. When someone thinks you're less skilled, less aware, or less dangerous, they let down their guard, brag, and give up control. That's when you take over. Pretending not to know, when done with a plan, turns every chat into a hidden battlefield where only you know the traps. These aren't quick fixes. They're skills. They need patience, self-control, and mastering your pride. They ask you to give up instant praise for a quiet, total influence. While others beg for attention, you build power in silence. But what's the point of these tools if you don't know where to use them? Real power isn't just in the skills. It's in using them perfectly in the right places. Work, relationships, family, and deals. Each place has its own mind game. That's where strategy turns into real wins. Next, we'll look at how to use these ideas in the trickiest and most challenging parts of modern life, and win every time without being seen. If this clicks with you, check out my ebooks. Beyond the Shadow explains Jung's main ideas, and Dialogues with the Unconscious is a 30-day plan to use them. Both are in the pinned comment. Learning the theory is only half. True skill is quietly applying it in the toughest everyday battles, places where power hides in rules, love, or habits. Here, acting weak becomes a tool for survival, growth, and freedom. Every word you pick, every move you hold back, every fight you skip all, quietly build a hidden influence others don't notice. Let's start with work, where power games hide behind polite masks and fake smiles. In a place where flattery and bragging are mistaken for skill, being quiet is an underrated advantage. With toxic coworkers, the usual mistake is fighting back or losing your temper. But the smart player watches, takes notes, spots patterns, and stays polite while planning quietly. When the time comes, a complaint, a change, a chance to show the bad behavior, the move is sharp, deadly, and unstoppable. While others chased attention, you worked in secret. With a tough boss, it's trickier. Acting obedient is your cover. Bosses who manipulate love thinking they control everyone. But your obedience hides a quiet plan, updating your resume, making connections, preparing to leave. You walk away when they think they've won, and they lose everything: control, respect, Even their job. In personal relationships, it's subtler and riskier. With a dramatic ex, you might want to argue, mock, or prove you're better. That keeps the fight going. Real control is being calm and neutral. You become boring and distant, not weak, but smart. They fall apart emotionally without your reaction, which becomes the best punishment. With controlling family, the battle is quiet and long. The trick is fake agreement, saying yes, smiling, nodding, while you've already set your own path they don't know about. They think they rule you, but it's just an illusion you keep up. The more they believe they control you, the less they really do. What about toxic friends, people who expect you to always be there and do what they want? Slow distancing works. Best, no fights, no announcements, just less talking, less explaining. Over time, you fade from their life. When they notice, it's too late to fix it. In your personal life, this hidden power shows in handling reactions. Criticism? Smile and think it over, not because they're right, but because reacting loses. Small fights? Let them go to win the big ones. True strength is picking your battles. In deals, start small. Make them think they're winning. Act flexible or unsure. Then guide it to your plan. In all these cases, invincibility comes from controlling yourself and your world acting weak so people ignore you, and striking hard when the time is right. But why does this work so well? Why does nature favor the quiet, the patient, the still? The answer goes beyond how people think. It's in nature's patterns, animal hunting, and silent survival. That's what we'll explore next. The old power of staying unseen, how nature created this trick, and what top predators share with the sneakiest people in society. Nature doesn't reward noise. In the wild, a lion doesn't roar before attacking. An eagle doesn't scream while diving. A snake doesn't hiss before striking. The deadliest hunters don't announce themselves. They blend in, wait, and move perfectly. This isn't just survival, it's a universal rule. Real power everywhere is quiet, unseen, and unstoppable. Modern people, eager to stand out, have ignored this, chasing approval and obvious success. They forget that visible power can be attacked, challenged, or ruined. But hidden power works from inside, slips in without a fight, and can't be stopped because no one knows where it is. This is the final strike, the surprise hit. The move that comes out of nowhere after weeks, months, or years of seeming quiet. It's when the hidden player shows their true self, not for revenge, but because the moment is right. When everything lines up, the other's flaws are clear, defenses are down, and the scene is set. What looks sudden was planned from the first quiet moment, the first fake agreement, the first smile hiding a plan. Nature teaches that hunters don't waste energy. They don't attack when mad, they strike when sure. This separates the rash from the smart. The rash react to taunts. The smart turn taunts into plans. The rash fight to prove themselves. The smart win before the other knows they've lost. And the scariest part? The smart don't look dangerous. They seem lost, weak, or simple until the ground vanishes under the enemy's feet, and it's too late. This power needs discipline few have. It means holding back the urge for quick justice, staying quiet when you want to be right, and skipping small wins for a big victory. It means acting with a clear goal, not emotions. Because waiting gives you control over time. And controlling. Time controls everything. But don't be fooled, this isn't for the weak. Being unseen is lonely. No one cheers the quiet planner. No one sees their brilliance until it's done. You won't get praise. You'll get fear. And that's the real reward of silent power. Freedom to act without resistance, because the world doesn't fight what it doesn't understand. After this journey through smart plans, subtle tricks, emotional covers, and old tactics, there's one last truth. Acting weak to become unbeatable isn't just a trick, it's a way of life. A hidden code for the most successful, feared, and untouchable. What about you? Are you ready to live this code? Are you willing to let go of needing attention and take up unseen power? Before you answer, here's a final thought that ties it all together. The real winning move isn't with fists, it's with your mind. That's what you'll find now, at the end of this trip. Big changes in history never came with loud announcements. Empires fell quietly. Quiet leaders took control without flags. Regular people changed their lives by stopping force and using smarts. The hard truth is, the world belongs to those who hide their strength until it can't be stopped. You don't need to prove anything to anyone. You don't need to answer every insult. You don't need to explain to be respected. The less you show, the more you control. The less you're noticed, the more room you have to act. When others see you as weak, you get time, silence, and space. To build a total win one that doesn't need cheers because it's final. Those who yell, show off, or demand attention are always challenged, always tense, always at risk. But the fragile-looking? They're ignored. And in that ignorance, the greatest power is born. The power to surprise, to lead without being seen, to turn the hidden into total control. Modern life, with its social, emotional, and work battles, is a hidden war disguised as normal. Those who don't get this live reacting, explaining, and tiring themselves out. Those who do live watching, waiting, deciding, and at the right time, they act without noise, without show, but with full impact. The tiger doesn't roar before the hunt. The eagle doesn't call before the dive. And you, if you want to rule your world, must learn not to announce your moves. Real power doesn't need to be shouted. It's felt when escape is impossible. If this made sense, write in the comments, "No one sees what doesn't scare." That way, I'll know you get the code. And more importantly, that you're ready to use it. I want to hear your thoughts. Your stories, your quiet fights, because this channel isn't just about videos. It's about silent growth. If you've come this far, don't stop. The next video keeps going. And yes, it matters maybe more than you think. Click, watch, take it in, because those who master the unseen master all. And this journey is just starting.